When you hear the name McDonald's, you probably think of golden arches, French fries, and one of the biggest fast food chains on the planet. It's a company that serves millions of customers every single day in over 100 countries around the world. But have you ever wondered why it's called McDonald's? The answer is actually very simple. McDonald's is named after two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald. They opened the original restaurant that carried their family name. But here's where the story gets interesting. Even though their name ended up on one of the most recognizable brands in history, the McDonald brothers didn't become the faces of the global empire we know today. In fact, another man would take their idea, transform it into a worldwide phenomenon, and ultimately make the name McDonald's famous. And depending on who you ask, it's either one of the greatest business success stories ever told, or one of the most controversial. To understand how it happened, we have to go back to the late 1930s. At the time, drive-in restaurants were booming across America. Customers would pull into parking lots, place orders through car hops, and wait for their food to arrive. A man named Patrick McDonald owned a drive-up hot dog stand outside Monrovia Airport northeast of Los Angeles. He ran it with his sons Richard and Maurice McDonald. The system worked, but it was slow, and it wasn't particularly efficient. Richard and Maurice McDonald believed there had to be a better way. In 1940, the brothers moved the stand to San Bernardino, California. 8 years later, after studying what sold best, they made a radical decision. They eliminated most of the menu. Gone were the barbecue items, sandwiches, and dishes that complicated operations. Instead, they focused on a handful of products. Hamburgers at half the price of their competitors. Cheeseburgers, French fries, soft drinks, milkshakes. Then they redesigned the entire kitchen around speed. Inspired by assembly lines used in manufacturing, they developed what they called the Speedee Service System. Every employee had a specific task. Food preparation became streamlined. Orders were completed faster. Costs dropped. Customers loved it. Today, it seems obvious, but at the time, it was revolutionary. In 1952, Richard and Maurice McDonald sat down with the LA architect Stanley Clark Meston and his assistant Charles Fish. The plan was to design a McDonald's roadside restaurant that could be franchised. Richard had sketched out two half circles he thought would look good at either end of the structure, catching the eyes of motorists and their hungry families. Meston's arches made their debut in 1953. The McDonald brothers had essentially created the blueprint for modern fast food. Their restaurant attracted attention. One of the people who noticed was a salesman named Ray Kroc. Kroc sold milkshake machines. When he discovered that a small restaurant in California had ordered several of them, he became curious. Why would one restaurant need so many machines? In 1954, he traveled to San Bernardino to see it for himself. What he found amazed him. The restaurant was efficient, the food was affordable, and customers kept coming. Kroc immediately saw something the brothers didn't fully pursue: scale. The McDonald brothers were satisfied with operating a successful business. Kroc envisioned thousands of locations across the country. He convinced them to let him franchise the concept. At first, the arrangement benefited everyone. New restaurants opened. The McDonald's name spread. But tensions eventually emerged. Kroc wanted aggressive expansion. The brothers preferred caution. They disagreed on strategy. They disagreed on control. Eventually, Kroc purchased the rights to the company. The deal reportedly totaled $2.7 million before taxes. It was enough to make the brothers wealthy, but compared to what McDonald's would later become, many people have wondered whether they gave up too much. Under Kroc's leadership, McDonald's expanded rapidly. In 1968, the M logo was introduced after the McDonald's building design. Franchising accelerated. Strict operational standards ensured consistency. The golden arches became a symbol recognized around the world. The company entered new markets, introduced iconic products, and transformed the restaurant industry forever. Yet through all of that growth, one thing never changed. The name. McDonald's remained McDonald's. Not Kroc's, not Speedee's, not something invented by a marketing agency. The company continued carrying the surname of the brothers who started it all. Today, billions of people know the name. Most have never heard of Richard and Maurice McDonald. Many assume Ray Kroc founded the company entirely on his own. But the truth is more complicated. The McDonald brothers created the system. Ray Kroc built the empire. And together, their contributions shaped one of the most successful businesses in history. So why is McDonald's called McDonald's? Because two brothers named McDonald opened a restaurant and revolutionized the way food was served. The surprising part isn't where the name came from. It's that the men whose name appears on every sign around the world were eventually overshadowed by the man who made that name famous. And perhaps that's the strangest part of the story. One of the world's most recognizable brands isn't named after the person most people associate with building it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories behind the world's biggest brands. And let us know in the comments, which brand should we investigate next?